San Antonio starts right now.
Prepping for a day of competition and full stomachs, our Alicia Rivera joining us live this morning with what people can expect at the 11th annual Paella Challenge.
And the latest on an illegal gambling bust, how police say they came across the machines and who they're still looking for.
And taking a live look out at the Alamo City, we're getting a glimpse of the nearby school right there, but we're going to be joined by our own Sarah Spivey with what you can expect for the rest of the weekend and your spring break. Good morning. I'm Max Massey.
And I'm Tiffany Huertas filling in for Stephanie. It's March 8th and it's spring break, and I hope you're just waking up and just relaxing because you deserve it.
Especially considering we lost an hour of sleep. Happy daylight saving. I don't know why we would say happy daylight saving. We stole an hour from you, but just a quick reminder, starting your morning. Remember, the time has changed.
That's right. We are springing forward 1 hour, so make sure to change all of your clocks. Your cell phones should update automatically, but it doesn't hurt to double check.
That's right. And if by chance your phone still says 7 o'clock, just give it a quick power reset. You should be good to go. So, Sarah, we lost an hour, but the sun is out. What are people expecting the rest of the day?
Well, unfortunately, it is pretty hazy out there. Now, this tower cam is, of course, looking up into the clouds, the low-level clouds that are around. But still, we do have some areas of fog and mist. It's 52 degrees outside, so it is a little chilly. And visibility is down to about 3 miles at the moment. So, yeah, there are areas of mist and even some drizzle out there. Take a look up toward New Braunfels. Visibility down to 1/4 of a mile in New Braunfels, down to 3/4 of a mile at GMSA Randolph. Generally, along and east of I-35, that's where we've got areas with some fog. Visibility down to 2.5 miles in Pleasanton. It's chilly with temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. It's 49 at JBSA Randolph, 51 in New Braunfels, 53 in Tarpley, 51 in Lost Maples, 54 up in Kerrville and in Comfort, 52 at Bernie Stage Airfield. So we do have patchy fog right now. Temperatures should warm up though, because we are going to be seeing a breezy southeast wind gusting up to 20 miles per hour. We'll have a small chance for an isolated shower between about noon and dinner time, and then a high temperature near 70 degrees, breezy and muggy this evening, but we are going to warm up over the next few days. I've got to look ahead to your spring break forecast coming up. Max?
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a man still in critical condition after being hit by a car overnight. San Antonio police telling us this all happened just after 3 a.m. on Woodlawn Avenue and Bandera Road. The victim reportedly trying to cross the street, and he was actually hit, then rushed to University Hospital while the driver did stop, tried to help out, still arrested, and now faces charges of intoxicated assault.
San Antonio police are looking for the homeowner where they had an 8-liner bus last night. In the meantime, 12 people have been detained and interviewed. Officers say they were called out to a home near South Presa and Loop 410 after someone reportedly got shot. When they arrived, they were caught off guard by several people running away from the home. That's when they found 15 to 20 8-liner gambling machines. No one was injured. A sergeant on the scene says they are beginning to find more of these gambling operations within the city instead of out in the county like usual. The homeowner is nowhere to be found.
And happening right now, paella and sangria, breakfast of champions.
Oh, man.
Dozens of chefs from San Antonio across the United States and Mexico going head-to-head today to create the best paella dishes.
This morning in the city's south side, Chef Johnny Hernandez will welcome people to the 11th annual Paella Challenge. Alicia Barrera is live from Mission County Park with more. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Max. Well, let me tell you, it has gotten a little colder, so we had to throw on the jacket, but that's not stopping the staff from the 11th annual Paella Challenge from getting things set up. We're at Mission County Park, and things are looking pretty good, but we have the man himself, Mr. Chef Johnny Hernandez. Good morning. How are you doing today? You excited?
Yes, we are. You know, it's going to be a beautiful day. We have about, we have 13 high schools, 37 chefs, a lot of great beverages from Corona and Coke. So it's going to be a great day, and we're excited to raise money for the cause, you know, Kitchen Campus and the Culinary Institute of America. So, yeah.
And that's a big part of today, right? There's still tickets available, and we're going to be seeing high schools compete against one another, but also these chefs. So I believe more than 30 samplings of paella.
Oh, yes. We will have, over 45 different paellas being prepared here on the south side, on the river at Mission County Park. So we're inviting Santa to come out, support the event, and, you know, our goal is to continue to raise funds to mentor the future, you know, culinarians of our community. and the culinary schools that are thriving throughout the different high schools, and obviously St. Philip's, CIA, and it is just a beautiful collaboration of local chefs who come out to support Kitchen Campus and the youth who are, pursuing these careers.
Well, Chef Johnny Hernandez, thank you so much for being with us this morning. We know he's a busy man. He has a lot to take care of today. I believe you're expecting close to 2,000, maybe even more people.
Oh, yes. It's our ticket sales as of last night, outpaced the last few years. So it'll be a record year for us. And, it's going to the right place, right, to support the youth.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Gracias.
So later on today, we're actually going to be heading over to the HEB section. That's where those high school students are getting everything prepped. Everything is red, as you can imagine, the colors of HEB. We'll be speaking specifically to Lee High School and hopefully seeing others, maybe the top 3 winners from last year. I believe Lanier High School was 3rd place. So again, amazing students only in high school and already making some delicious paella. So we have that later up, coming up on GMSA. Reporting live, Alicia Barrera, back to you.
Thank you, Alicia. What a fun assignment this morning.
She wins. She wins.
You're hungry?
Paella. Oh, yeah. It's never a bad time for paella.
Never. Now, San Antonio has a climate action plan focused on sustainability, preventative health, and protection.
City Council approved the first climate action plan in a 10-to-1 vote last fall. District 7 Councilwoman Anna Sandoval voted for the plan, and in this week's leading essay, she tells me approving it is just the first step. Would you ever drive an electric vehicle?
Never.
Why?
I don't want to plug something in. I don't want to have to plug my vehicle in.
Josie isn't alone. We spoke to a lot of people around San Antonio who tell me they don't have an electric vehicle and they have no plans of buying one. Obviously, when City Council approved the Climate Action Plan, they didn't expect results overnight, but Alamo City looks like they are preparing for the future of sustainability.
What City Council adopted in that plan was to strive for carbon neutrality in 2050. So what does that mean? It means that net, we're not adding any more of these dangerous carbon emissions or carbon dioxide equivalent emissions to the air.
At least one of the new buildings just north of downtown, the Soto, is actually going to be carbon negative, taking carbon dioxide out of the air. And new environmentally friendly projects like the Soto spur economic growth.
The idea of green collar jobs resulting from a lot of these measures.
And that could mean incentives for existing companies.
City Council is working on adopting a program called PACE, and it's property assessed clean energy. What PACE allows you to do is access a line of financing to help you make those improvements, but you only pay it off with the savings you have in energy or in water usage. So you don't really feel it. It's going to be net neutral for you. And the day you sell the building, that debt passes on to the next owner. So you are not out that money.
The city tells me they are even hoping to upgrade their fleet of vehicles, making them electric. More and more charging stations popping up, and there are even federal, state, and local incentives to buy an electric vehicle. And when it comes to the future of the Alamo City, it seems like this is just the start.
Working on bringing in more solar power. People really like the idea of having clean energy. So my role was really working with some of the stakeholders and moving the plan along and ensuring that we had something that we could really implement.
And speaking of the PACE program, we just saw District 7 Councilwoman Anna Sandoval talking about it. Just this week, City Council unanimously passed an ordinance to implement the Property Assessed Clean Energy, the PACE program. Mayor Ron Nirenberg even tweeting out it will provide for low-cost financing to retrofit older buildings, save on energy, and save on water costs. Good for the environment, good for business, and good for San Antonio.
I found so interesting that not a lot of people were into electric vehicles. And what did they tell you?
So we went to the Pearl and we did MOSs, which is Man on the Street, where we literally just go and we just talk to anyone who'll talk to us, which sometimes can be frustrating. But we found no one there that had an electric vehicle. Wow. And their biggest concern, obviously you heard Josie there saying that she didn't want to deal with the plugging in electric vehicle, but I would say 90% of the people we talked to, they said just too expensive.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, it's true.
Well, and that actually prompted us to do another story coming out, I think, in a week and a half. We're doing cost effectiveness of having an electric vehicle here in San Antonio.
Wow, that sounds interesting. I can't wait to watch it.
Stay tuned. All right. So, if you did not know by now, today is International Women's Day. And surprisingly, this year's theme is Each for Equal. It's a call for men and women to embrace collective individualism. The idea is that every person can do a small part to challenge stereotypes, work for equality, while some International Women's Day events are canceled because of the coronavirus fears.
But fortunately, we have one you can take part in this afternoon. The 30th annual San Antonio International Women's Day March and Rally starts at 12 this afternoon at the Plaza del Zacate on West Commerce. It begins with a blessing followed by a speech from a civil rights leader, performances, and then the march. If you don't want to go, you can still participate on social media with the hashtag Each for Equal.
And time now is 8:10, 52 degrees out.
Coming up, a woman stranded in the cold in Georgia worried she's not going to make it to her daughter's birthday. Still coming up, the great story of two officers that helped this woman in need.
And LeBron James speaking out about the league banning fans from games in the aftermath of the coronavirus fears. That's next on GMSA.
That is a hot topic. I don't know how fans are going to take that.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting, especially with the NBA. But we've already seen some soccer matches overseas play in empty arenas.
I mean, safety comes first. Well,
good morning and welcome back. 8:14 this Sunday morning, and all we have to say is go Spurs, go. It is Spurs game day, silver and black, back in action in Cleveland, trying to get back to those winning ways. There are 21 games left for the Spurs, and even though they are in the 12th seed, somehow those playoff chances still alive.
And this is just a quick reminder that the Silver and Black are playing tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers at 6:30 p.m. in Cleveland. The Silver and Black are now 4.5 games back from the 8th and final playoff spot.
And speaking of the NBA, speaking of basketball, in the basketball world this week, LeBron James coming out and saying that if the league bans fans from the stadiums because of the coronavirus outbreak, he's not playing.
The Lakers star told reporters that aside from his teammates, he plays for the fans.
Now, without fans in the stands, LeBron said simply, I ain't playing. James' reaction comes after the NBA brought up the possibility of banning fans from the stadiums.
The league is asking them to consider what actions they take in their arenas to play games without fans inside. In addition, temperature checks of players and staff could also be done. But all of that, of course, is changing, and a lot of fans are just concerned, too.
Important to mention it right now, it is all right now theoretical. They haven't said anything about the NBA games, but we have seen some sporting events overseas in empty stadiums.
And of course, with South by Southwest getting canceled, there are some really serious consequences from the coronavirus going around. Just wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Sing happy birthday.
Just wash your hands.
Happy
There you
birthday.
go.
I do that.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do, okay?
But there's a lot of people here in town for spring break, so
Yeah, you know what? And the weather's going to be fine during the week. Unfortunately, this weekend, we've just had these cloudy conditions, and it is cloudy outside right now. And in fact, those low clouds, this tower camera is seeing into those low clouds, and you can see that haze on the horizon there. So just know that there are some areas where we're dealing with fog or even mist, but generally we'll be seeing this really start to lift, and into the afternoon our high temperature will be near 70 degrees. Unfortunately, though, it will be difficult for us to see the sunshine today. It's 52 degrees at the airport. Visibility at the airport has gone down to only a mile, so if you do have to head out early this morning for church or Sunday morning errands, just know that you're going to want to use those low beams rather than those high beams whenever you encounter fog. Again, here's a look at visibility. Down to half a mile in New Braunfels, down to a quarter of a mile in New Braunfels, down to half a mile at the airport, half a mile at GMSA Randolph. Generally, east of San Antonio, that's where visibility is the worst. Notice how up in Kerrville and in the hill country, visibility is just fine. But we are seeing those clouds. The clouds have been increasing. The sun just rose and clouds have been increasing from the west. You can see that it's completely cloudy out west toward Rock Springs, Eagle Pass, Uvalde. And this is the reason why it's going to be difficult for us to see any sunshine today, because the clouds are continuing to stream in from the west. And even though we may see one or two peaks of sunshine during the day, that cloud cover is really going to stick around. Take a look at dew points. Earlier this morning, dew points were in the 40s in San Antonio. Now they're in the 50s. Yesterday, dew points were all the way at the bottom of the scale in the 30s. So we are seeing humidity rise from the southeast. That Gulf of Mexico moisture is slowly starting to move in. And with those temperatures and the dew points close to each other, that's why we're seeing some areas of fog. It's chilly out there. 51 in New Braunfels, 54 in Kerrville, 51 in Hondo, 48 down in Pleasanton, 55 in Beeville, 54 in Kerrville, and 52 in Rock Springs. Let's take you through the future cast today. Again, not going to see much of any sunshine, just a cloudy day. And then between about noon and 5 p.m., we'll get a little piece of energy that'll work its way through south central Texas. And so we do have a shot at some isolated showers, especially if you live up in the hill country and generally to the west and north of that I-35 corridor there. So we will carry a 20% chance for rain through about 5 p.m. And then as we start early tomorrow morning, drizzle will be back into the picture as well. So let's take you through this forecast. Patchy fog through 10 o'clock. Notice that the clouds stick around. Isolated rain from noon to 5. We still warm up significantly, even though we have the cloud cover. And the reason for that is these are the winds. The winds are really going to start to pick up from the southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. That'll still warm us up, and the humidity will rise with it. In fact, dew points will be in the 60s, the mid 60s by tomorrow. That's a summertime dew point. That's why it feels icky and sticky in the summertime. That humidity is higher, and it's going to feel sticky and icky Tuesday through Friday when temperatures will be in the 80s, but we'll have a bit of a heat index value as well. So make sure you stay cool. However, it is spring break, so at least we've got some warmer weather for the kids that are off of school this week. Just taking you through the planning forecast, pretty much a repeat day tomorrow of today. Sunshine Tuesday through about Friday. It's going to be nice in the 80s and an isolated chance for rain as we start next weekend.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
80s and sunny. I'll take that any month of the year. This is perfect.
At least it's not triple digits like we normally get in summer.
It's true.
All right, thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah. 8:19, 52 degrees out.
Going above and beyond, that's what 2 Georgia police officers did to make sure a birthday party was one to remember. But before we go, let's check over to Lotto. Your pick 3, 232. Fireball 4, your daily 4, 3, 6, 6, 7, your Fireball 3.
And Cash 5 is 7, 12, 17, 19, 29. Powerball 7, 15, 21, 33, 62. Powerball 23. Power Play is 2. Good luck. We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome back. Happy Sunday, and we have a feel-good story for you to start off this block. Check it out.
2 Georgia police officers are being recognized for going above and beyond after they gave a woman a ride home. The woman was standing on the side of the road in the cold, saying she was trying to make it home for her daughter's birthday.
And one of the officers took her home, and the other went to pick up a cake for the girl. That's when they surprised the family and stuck around to sing happy birthday.
The caring moment was found during an audit of body camera footage, and the officers did not tell their superiors about the moment, but it is so sweet.
Oh, that's so cute. Seriously, above and beyond. They went and got the cake, and they stayed and sang happy birthday.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. Ah, good for them. Oh, look at that. They're playing with the cake top. All right, 8:24, 52 degrees out.
Bye-bye Costco samples, at least for now. Still ahead, why the company is not serving them for a while.
Plus, the latest on a lockdown in northern Italy, what people living there can expect as the coronavirus outbreak continues overseas.
And a pedestrian hit overnight as they were trying to cross the street. The charges the driver now faces.
But before we get there, we have some birthdays to tell you about. We are starting off with Michael, 1 year old. Happy first birthday.
That hair is amazing. Look at that bow tie,
the
everything.
The bow tie is on
Happy
point.
birthday. Let's check out. This is LD1. He's turning 1. A big happy birthday to you. Now keep posting those pictures on ksat.com/birthdays. Remember to include a name and age. You're watching Good Morning San Antonio. We'll be right back.
Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey, and we are walking right in here. Good morning, San Antonio.
It's spring break. Everything happens.
It's
Anything
true.
can happen.
There you go. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And speaking of that, it's cloudy outside. Still haven't seen the sun.
Do not jinx me like that, Max. You know that these computers are very fickle, and I don't want to have anything going wrong with the weather computers. But it is spring break, and if you're going down to the coast, say Corpus Christi, Rockport, or even the Galveston area, what you just got to know is that it's going to be pretty nice, okay? It'll be mostly cloudy with a chance for an isolated shower. Mornings in the 60s, afternoons in the 50s, but the surf temperature is 65 degrees, so that's a little on the chilly side. So just keep that in mind. But again, if you are going down to the coast, should be okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at our weather though, because we do have some areas of mist and fog out there. Visibility is down to about 1/4 of a mile in parts of Bexar County, and especially out toward New Braunfels. Now, we are going to be able to eventually see the sunshine in the week ahead. I'll be back with a look at that and a warm-up coming up in just a few minutes. Max?
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, one man still in critical condition after he was hit by a vehicle overnight. San Antonio police saying this all happened just after 3 a.m. on Woodlawn Avenue and Bandera Road. The man reportedly trying to cross the street. The pedestrian then rushed to the University Hospital after he was hit. While the driver did stop and try to help out, render aid, he was then arrested and is facing charges of intoxicated assault. And Breakfast of Champions. If you've ever dreamed of a distinguished chef preparing a delicious meal right in front of your eyes, well, you might want to head out to Mission County Park today.
The 11th Annual Paella Festival, hosted by Chef Johnny Hernandez, will take place this afternoon. The proceeds will benefit a nonprofit that focuses on youth. Alicia Barrera is live from the South Side with more on today's Tasty Challenge. We're so jealous, Alicia.
Well, you know, I think I'm jealous of the chefs too, because they've actually are going to be able to try it. I'm unfortunately not. But one of the chefs, he's a high schooler, Lee High School. Salvador, are you ready for today?
Yes, ma'am. This is my second year doing this, so I'm ready. I'm pumped, ready to get this win.
Okay, and then behind here we have HEB. They're sponsoring y'all's pantry. So what are some of the ingredients that you're going to be using for your paella?
We'll be using bell pepper, saffron, obviously the rice, the bomba rice. We'll need the chorizo, and pretty much everything else we already have made.
Okay, and then what's the secret behind your paella? We're actually going to head back to the team over here where they're standing by. So you walk me over here. What's the secret behind your paella?
I think our paella is just a little bit more different than anybody's else because Chef dreamed about it, and we just decided to start making it. As soon as we started day one, as soon as school started, we started practicing, and since it came from Chef's dream, I mean,
that's awesome. And so what do you hope to do in the future? Because we know that you're competing against a bunch of high schools. We have MacArthur. They were one of the winners last year. Brackenridge. Is Lanier here? I know Lanier was one of the top winners last year too. So what are you hoping to do after this?
After this, I hope to, I'm going to business school first and then becoming a chef.
Very
so
cool.
I can open my own restaurant and like run the kitchen by myself.
And will you open the restaurant here in San Antonio?
Maybe.
Let's convince them, you guys. Well, that's awesome. We wish you the best of luck. How many other schools are competing against you? More than 10, I think. We're counting like about 12 here, right? Yeah. All right. Well, best of luck to you, Salvador. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Again, Lee High School, they're part of the HEB 9th Annual High School Challenge for the Paella. This is all happening today. There's still tickets available if you want to come try out their paella. Also, more than 30 chefs on the other side from here, San Antonio, across the U.S., and also Mexico. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Well, in the latest involving the coronavirus, right now there are only 9 cases of the infected being treated here in San Antonio. The decrease in numbers comes after 2 patients with coronavirus were released from GMSA Lackland. Those 2 patients quarantined on the Diamond Princess cruise ship, and they were the passengers there. Now, around Texas, there is still 1 case in Fort Bend County, just outside Houston, as well as 5 other cases in Houston. As of this moment, no reported cases in Austin, but city officials did cancel South by Southwest festivities as a precaution.
Now, regarding the national outbreak, a person who attended the same conference as President Donald Trump has tested positive for coronavirus. The person visited the conservative Political Action Conference in Maryland last week. President Trump and Vice President Mike Pence were both there. Fortunately, event organizers say the president and vice president didn't interact with the person who got sick. The patient is now getting medical care in New Jersey.
And overseas, the Italian government has imposed a lockdown of many northern provinces.
ABC's Stephanie Ramos shares the latest details as work to keep the virus at a minimum there and around the U.S.
This morning, a scramble in northern Italy as officials order a lockdown. Nearly a quarter of the nation's population now under travel restrictions in a bid to slow the coronavirus. A U.S. sailor stationed in Naples, Italy, testing positive for COVID-19. The Pentagon also confirming a Marine stationed at Fort Belvoir in Virginia has tested positive as well after traveling overseas. And overnight, the first case of coronavirus discovered in the nation's capital, a man in his 50s.
He appears to have no history of international travel and no close contacts with a confirmed case.
In New York State, Governor Andrew Cuomo declaring a state of emergency. At least 89 confirmed cases of the virus statewide. 11 in New York City, including an Uber driver, a man in his 30s, hospitalized in Queens. Uber saying in a statement, it's removed the man's access to the app and it's working with public health officials. The governor blaming the federal government, claiming the state isn't getting enough money to fight the virus and there aren't enough tests.
CDC is a bottleneck for this nation in doing the testing. I believe the CDC was caught flat-footed. I believe they're slow in their response, and I believe they're slowing down the state.
The outbreak spreading from coast to coast. In Nebraska, medical personnel can be seen transporting one woman in an isolation pod who tested positive to the University of Nebraska Medical Center, where other COVID-19 patients are being treated. Thousands of people in the U.S. asked to self-quarantine. Our own senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell is going through one right now overseas after reporting from Asia.
And this is it. This is quarantine. And it's a very, very strange experience. It's quite lonely, it's quite isolating. It's the right thing to do. There was no alternative. What I've realized, having covered this up close, is that unless we all act in the best interests of each other, then it makes containment all the more difficult.
And while we can...
The first batch of CDC testing kits were sent to California and Washington state. The CDC says initially there were some manufacturing problems, but those issues have been resolved. They say by Monday, an additional 600,000 testing kits will be made available to public health labs. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
And while we continue to talk about the coronavirus concerns, we have a few tips if you plan on attending a big event like a wedding anytime soon.
Or if it is you that is tying the knot during this outbreak. To keep the virus from speaking on your special day, you can, 1, reduce the size of your guest list. Avoid hugging and kissing.
And try to avoid shaking hands. It's recommended to stay at a reasonable distance from other people.
And we know it can be difficult, especially when you have not seen your friends and family for a while. If you do come in close contact, just be aware of the situation and stay clean.
And remember, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your face and your mouth, especially before eating. And it's always good to carry around a little bottle of hand sanitizer just in case. And speaking of eating, there are no more free samples at Costco. Don't expect samples during your next visit because the chain is actually temporarily suspending the practice because of these concerns.
We know snacking before buying is part of the Costco's image. However, coronavirus spreads when infected bodily fluids land in the mouths or noses of healthy people. This has some customers worrying that those finger-licking good food samples might be a bad idea, at least for right now. And I know that's part of the experience. So some people are going to be very disappointed. But I mean, again, we're doing this to stay healthy.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yes.
And speaking of hand sanitizer, you and I share a desk, and we have that huge tub of hand sanitizer.
We do.
We have that.
We have it right in the middle.
Yep. We have the Lysol. We have the Clorox. We are staying clean.
Yep.
It's always smart. All right, 8:38, 52 degrees out.
Staying American strong, still ahead on GMSA, how one veteran is not letting anything hold him back from even his biggest goals.
Plus, a recall for those who keep up their lawns, the product thousands of people were told they need to stop using immediately. We'll explain why.
And this is the kind of dog you want to hang out with. This is Rex. He's a cool dude. We're going to introduce you to him coming up.
I gotta step up my fashion because that dog just beat me. Like that was impressive. The bandana, top tier.
And we're here with Alexis from the Humane Society, and you've got Rex with you.
Yes, we do. We have Rex. He is actually a 12-year-old, if you can't believe it or not, 12-year-old Chihuahua. But, you know, he still has a lot of life left in him, and he actually acts like a little puppy. He prances around, he rolls around. He is the, you know, life of the party.
I would have never have guessed he's 12 years old. He's looking really good, in good shape, too. All right, so you guys got some stuff going on there at the Humane Society. Tell me about it.
Yes, we do. So El Rey Fido is slowly approaching. You know, we have until March 26th to, you know, get all of our donations and all of our fundraising in. So if y'all are interested in entering your pup to be Fiesta Royalty, then if you can go to sahumane.org/ERF to sign up your pup, post a cute photo, cute bio, and start raising money for our shelter. And, you know, even if you don't have a pup, that's definitely fine. You can go online and donate to your favorite candidate. We have 7 candidates so far for El Rey Fido, so, you know, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, and this is a good program to help raise money for you guys, right?
Definitely, definitely.
And it goes to little puppies like this one, Rex.
Like Rex.
Looking good, my friend. Looking good. If you want to adopt Rex, he's available now, correct?
Yes, available at noon today.
Okay. There is the information for you. 4804 Fredericksburg Road. The number is 210-226-7461. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have an important recall alert for you this morning. If you frequently do your yard work, you're going to want to listen up. The Echo Company recalling more than 67,000 backpack blowers and replacement straps. This is what it is. The blowers, shoulder straps, plastic buckles, or the anti-static ground wire can be drawn into the blower fan, and fan housing can cause the plastic pieces to be expelled from the machine, and that could cut you and can be very hazardous. Now, the firm has received 67 reports of the incidents, including a minor injury when pieces of the blower were actually thrown off and it hit a consumer in the neck. So if you have one, please stop using it, and you can return them to an authorized dealer for a free repair.
Now, if you're going to mow your lawn or do yard work today, how's the weather, Sarah, for that?
It's going to be cloudy in the afternoon, and there's going to be a small chance for isolated rain, but an okay day to do lawn work, I guess.
Okay.
You know? Although I bet a lot of people's lawns are kind of crunchy because of the lack of good rain we've seen in the area. This is a look at this morning's sunrise. Sunrise was an hour later, right at around 7:51. You can see the low clouds just moving in and some patchy fog kind of settling over San Antonio. And as we take a look at visibility right now, we still are dealing with some areas of patchy fog. It's the worst up in New Braunfels right now, where visibility is down to 1/4 of a mile. Visibility is down to 1/2 mile at the airport at the moment, down to 1/4 of a mile in Castroville, and 3/4 of a mile near Hondo. So just know that eventually this fog is going to lift within the next couple of hours as we see winds pick up from the southeast. But for now, if you do have any traveling plans early this morning, just use those low beams. As we take a look at temperatures, it's on the cooler side. It's 51 in New Braunfels, 50 at GMSA Randolph, 54 in Castroville, 51 in Helotes, 54 in Kerrville, 51 Lost Maples, and 54 in Tarpley, 49 down in Pleasanton, where temperatures are still in the 40s. All in all, though, most of us are in the 50s right now, and our temperatures and our dew points are right side by side, and that's why we're starting to see some fog develop in the area. Like I said, even it's really only concentrated right around San Antonio at the moment. Here's a look at our weather setup. So we've got those clouds moving in from the west. This is why it's going to be difficult for us to see any sunshine today. We've got the southeasterly breeze bringing in low-level clouds, and then we've got the westerly upper-level flow, which is continuing to bring in the cloud cover. And then take a look out to the west. You can see those showers off of the Sierra Madres at the moment. We're going to have a chance for isolated light rain by about noon through the afternoon because of a little dip in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Meanwhile, though, Pacific moisture is continuing to stream in from the Pacific Ocean itself, and that's why we won't be seeing much sunshine today. In the planning forecast, as we take you through the afternoon, again from 12 to about 5, that's when we're going to have the small chance for some isolated showers, especially up in the hill country toward areas like Kerrville and Bandera as well. Let's take you, though, through time here, and what you'll notice is that we'll be able to see temperatures climbing to near 70 degrees around San Antonio in the afternoon in spite of the cloud cover. And the reason for that, are these winds. Take a look up in Rock Springs and Del Rio, and even in Kerrville. Winds are breezier there from the southeast at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Very soon here in San Antonio, we're going to see those winds pick up as well, so that by the afternoon we'll have a southeasterly breeze at 10 to 20, gusting up to 25 miles per hour. That's going to be enough to bring in that warm Gulf of Mexico moisture, and that's why we'll be able to see temperatures climb into the mid to upper 60s rather this afternoon, close to 70 degrees. Tomorrow is going to be very similar to today. Morning drizzle, morning fog, an isolated shower or two, hard to see the sunshine. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll be able to see a decent amount of sun, but by that time it's going to be humid. So we'll have mornings in the 60s, afternoons in the 80s, but you will feel every degree because of the humidity. In fact, we'll probably have a heat index value Tuesday through Friday. Then as we round out the week, we'll have another chance for some isolated rain, but unfortunately, it's not going to be a good chance for rain. The good news is, though, this is very spring-like weather for spring break as the kids enjoy their week off from school.
Any big plans for you guys?
Oh, no, I'll be here, but I'm happy to be here.
Me too.
Yeah, working, but have Wednesday, Thursday off, so I get to enjoy the sunshine.
Oh, that's good.
That's perfect.
Work on the tan, or a temp. All right, 6:49, 52 degrees out.
An American hero beating the odds, how he plans to conquer one of the world's tallest mountains to honor his fellow Marines. But first, let's take a look at those lotto numbers. Your pick 3, 232, your Fireball 4, your Daily 4, 3, 6, 6, 7, your Fireball 3.
And the cash 5 is 7, 12, 17, 19, 29. Powerball 7, 15, 21, 33, 62. Powerball 23. Power play is 2. Good luck.
And outside, looking smooth, pretty smooth this morning, but you know, traffic's gonna pick up. It is Sunday fun day.
People sleeping in. Good morning and welcome back. Before you go this morning, one man still in critical condition after he was hit by a vehicle overnight. San Antonio police telling us all of this happened just after 3 a.m. on Woodlawn Avenue and Bandera Road. They tell us that the victim reportedly just trying to cross the street. That pedestrian rushed to University Hospital after they were hit. The driver did stop, try to render aid, try to help out. They were later arrested and charged with intoxicated assault.
And those online personality quizzes may seem like fun, but just ahead, why doing them may put you at a higher risk for being hacked.
There are areas of fog out there this morning with visibility down to 1/4 mile in some places, so please use caution. It's chilly too at 54 degrees at the airport. Taking a look at the forecast, just know that patchy fog should last through about 10. Then from noon to 5, we'll have a small chance for an isolated shower. Southeast breeze at 10 to 15 miles per hour with again, even breezier conditions as we head into the evening hours. Our temperatures will struggle to fall much and we'll wake up in the 60s tomorrow. Pretty much repeat the day today. Tomorrow, just a little bit warmer in the morning. And then we'll have sunshine Tuesday through Thursday with temperatures climbing into the 80s for highs. It'll be humid, so it'll feel warmer than that. And then we'll close out the week with some chances for some isolated rain.
Fantastic. Now, we did tease that story about the personality quizzes. That is actually tomorrow morning on GMSA, and I got to be tuning in because I do them all the time. They're kind of addicting. But anyway, our time here is almost over. GMSA is almost about to end. But before we go, we have an amazing story to share with you.
Take a look at it. Doc Jacobs has seen a lot of tough days, and the Marine and Navy veteran losing his leg in an IED blast in Iraq in 2005.
But now the veteran and amputee is conquering one of the world's tallest mountains, letting nothing hold him back. The 34-year-old says none of his challenges have quite rivaled this one, setting out to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, first trying to tackle the tallest freestanding mountain in the world in 2018. Altitude sickness stopped him early, struggling up more than 19,000 feet for his fallen brothers with a mission to raise money to give children in East Africa access to clean water. He made it.
Woo. Also, fun fact about him, he donated his kidney to a stranger.
What a great guy.
Have a great day.